Normally when you have a device that claims that it's universal, it guarantees a few things. Cheap price, cheap build quality, it doesn't work quite like it's supposed to, and the extra features that it has on it did nothing but entice you to buy a cheap, inferior product instead of the superior, more expensive product. And I'm very happy to inform all of you that the Mad Catz MC2 Universal Racing Wheel is the absolute exception to those rules. Not only does the Mad Catz offer a low price tag, but it also offers great quality construction. It works almost like it's supposed to, and the features that Mad Catz has implemented into this wheel are actually the features that set it apart from other racing wheels. Here on the box it says, with the AccuDrive fully adjustable calibration system, which sounds like typical marketing BS just to get your money. But what I'm going to show you later in this review, that this fake dashboard looking thing right here is actually not a fake dashboard at all, but it's actually part of the calibration system, which is quite intuitive. Taking a closer look at the actual wheel, the wheel is double injection molded, which means that it is only one piece. It is not two pieces that were later glued together. The yellow parts of the wheel are actually rubber coated to ensure that your hands don't slip while racing. Unlike most universal racing wheel designs, the button placement was very well thought out and everything is very easy to get to. Now normally I am not a sucker for good looking cosmetics, especially on a video game controller, but I have to hand it to Mad Catz on this one. This here in the middle is the D-pad that you use to navigate through the menus. I just think that is a fantastic design. Not only is it very intuitive, but it also looks great in my opinion. And down here we have the start and select button, which on every racing wheel is out of the way, as it should be. What we have here on the back of the wheel is two paddle shifters that push in like paddle shifters usually do, but these also push out for added control. One of the drawbacks of the MC2 is that it is not a force feedback wheel, which kind of makes sense if you think about it, because the Gamecube and the, I'm sorry, I pointed to my Gamecube, and there's my Xbox up there. Anyway, those systems are not capable of delivering force feedback, unlike the PlayStation 2 is, which is right over there, by the way. Anyway, what they do provide you with is a nice spring tension wheel, as you can see here. And what I really like about the spring tension on this wheel is that it's unusually light for a non-force feedback wheel, and which is what I really like, because I don't like wheels that are extremely hard to turn, that it's almost distracting while you're steering the game. Now we're getting to my favorite part of this wheel, which is the sequential shifter. What I really like about this stick is that, first of all, its size. It is a life-size shifter knob. Anybody who's ever driven the stick will instantly recognize that, and it's really good to grab a hold of no matter which way if you grab it like this or you grab your stick shift like this. I just said grab your stick. Anyway, no matter how you grab it, it just feels right. Something else that I really love about this thing is that the amount of throw that it offers. As you can see, it gives you about a 1/4 inch of throw, and it's extremely satisfying because it's got so much throw, and it actually feels like you're shifting the vehicle, and it doesn't feel like a little tiny dinky switch like the Driving Force Pro does. One last thing worth noting about the sequential shifter is its quality. Its ability to take extreme abuse, which would be something like this. You're in a very heated race and you need to shift down real quick. You slap the shifter like that. And you can also, in a flinging motion, shift up. The pedal assembly is yet another example of how Mad Catz made the MC2 a wheel that you could use anytime, anywhere. As you can see here on the accelerator pedal, it actually has a pivot point right here on the actuator, and what that does is it allows your foot to be at any position that you want it to be in. For example, if you're a person who likes to sit far away or farther away from your pedal assembly, your foot's liable to be more angled like this. If you sit closer to your pedal assembly, your foot's probably going to be more like that. The good thing about this design is that no matter what position your foot is in, you can achieve full throttle. And as you can see, if it's closer to your seated position, you push down simply for full throttle. What this design also does is discourages the pedals from slipping away from your feet. As you can see, or as you saw, this is a pushing down motion mostly, and not so much of a pushing forward motion like it is on the Driving Force EX. Just to show you the pedals on the EX, when you're pushing down on the pedal, it's still somewhat of a forward motion. It's not completely down, which, as you can see, the pedals are slipping away after each push. And that's the primary problem that I have with the EX wheels, is that it's still somewhat of a forward motion which pushes the pedal assembly away from your feet, which I did overcome, but it took some doing. But the natural motion of pushing down on the pedals is not the only thing that keeps this assembly in place. The other thing that Mad Catz has done to make sure that the pedal assembly doesn't travel on you is on the bottom, they have little rubber feet with teeth on them, which on carpet, these rubber feet will dig into the carpet and provide much stability for the entire assembly. And since they're rubber feet, they will also help keep the pedal assembly where it should be on even hardwood floors, or in the kitchen if you so choose to play your video games in. Okay, back to the wheel here. I want to talk about these three buttons on the dashboard here. We have a mode button, a calibration button, and a program button. Now the mode button is just simply a toggle button between digital and analog if you happen to be playing a PlayStation 1 game, but other than that it's pretty much useless. The calibration button is for the calibration system, which I'm about to show you, and the program button I'm going to show you right now. The program feature on the MC2 is designed to give you more customized controls. Mad Catz implemented the program feature because they understood that not all games were designed for a racing wheel, unlike Forza, which is actually designed exactly for this wheel. But for the games that are not designed for a wheel, it's very common that you get some very messed up controls. For example, people will probably want this to be shift down and this to be shift up. However, the control scheme of the game that you're playing might suggest that this is shift up and this is shift down. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remap the buttons from the face of the wheel over to the stick shift here. So we do that by hitting program, and then the program light comes on letting you know that the wheel is ready to take your commands. So what I want to do right now is program for shift down. So I'll push forward on the stick, and you can almost see that light blinking. It doesn't show up very well because the frame rate on my camera sucks. So when the light starts blinking, it's ready to take the button that you want to remap to the stick. So shift down, I said earlier, was B. So you just hit the B button and the light goes out. Now shift down is programmed into the sequential shifter. And then respectively, you hit program again, and we'll do shift up this time. And the light starts blinking. And then I said A was shift up. You hit the A button. Bingo. It's programmed.